Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea. Welcome back to your HF solar weather forecast. This will cover Saturday, December the 3rd through Monday, December the 5th. First, the A1A. And that area we talked about on Wednesday, about 10 o'clock, you can really see sunspot regions coming. And it has actually spawned a sunspot region that wasn't there previously. So one formed and was given a number. We'll look at that in just a moment. Partial view here of the sunspots with a little radiation added into it for brightness. You can see there's some more places right around 10 o'clock coming in. Should be good conditions coming. Higher SF right around 10 o'clock coming in. Should be good conditions coming. Higher SFIs are coming. So look forward to some good conditions SFI-wise. However, some spotty noise floor issues as well as some QSB coming. There'll be some fading on the bands. Here's a look at the magnetosphere view. This will show the new sunspot region that formed overnight, and it's kind of neat. 3152 is here, and take a look at today. This is just one day of movement from the magnetosphere view. Look at this. All of a sudden, 3155, and there's the area at 10 o'clock. I said on Wednesday, probably come in on Saturday. And here it is, 3156. 3153 was that area at 8 o'clock we talked about in the last weather segment. And these areas look very potent, so we should have some increasing SFIs, possibly some M or maybe an X-class flare from one of these sunspots. They seem to be very, very active. Coronal hole map. This is some bad news. 53 facing Earth, 51 has a little bit of an impact, and our solar wind is up. 3 days of solar flare activity. You can see we did get an M flare at the time where this was done. So if it's not an M, it's just off of one. So it would be right about maybe a C 9.8 or possibly an M 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3. It's very close to that M flare level, and that's going to help our SFIs here coming in the few days ahead. Look at that global D layer absorption. This is the absorption today of the ionospheric D layer on HF frequencies, all the way up today to past 20 megahertz. Look at that. The 20-meter band, for example, is attenuated today about 3 dB. Go up towards the 40-meter band, it's well over 5 dB. So some high attenuation in the sunny areas of the world today. The storming areas, looks like we may get some more coming up this week. This is from solarham.net. Great site to get your solar information from. It's a very helpful site to know what's going on in the sun for our HF conditions. So maybe another high-speed wind stream from this. We're already seeing effects from that right now on Earth. And good conditions, more sunspots coming as well. And this is where you kind of see that story about those new sunspots we talked about on Wednesday and them coming into view. And our area number is way, way up today. Look at this. SFI 124. It's up 5 from yesterday. I expect a big jump in this number today and possibly Sunday. Smooth sunspot number 66, up 17 from yesterday. Look at the area number now at 1010. That more than doubled over the last 24 hours. It was 680 yesterday. KP index, this is noise floors coming down. Nice lower noise floors for us coming in for the weekend. Looks like the next 3 days will only get quieter. Finally, some lower noise floors on the bands. Right now, KP 2.7 or 2.8, according to Space Weather Live. Solar wind, 533.2 kilometers per second. And you can take a look at the BZ latitude as well. Currently pointed 1.99 south. So expect some QSB in the northern hemisphere today due to south pointing BZ latitude. It will go back to north later on today, but still expect some fading both on the amateur and shortwave bands in HF. QRZ conditions, SFI 124, sunspot number is 57, A index a little high there at 16, and with the combined high solar wind, it causes a little bit of disruption in the ionosphere. It's a big jolt of X-ray radiation there. K1 for our noise floor, it shows very quiet. However, we know the noise is actually a little bit louder than that. It's about K7 or so. So it's a little louder than that. And our BZ latitude, of course, we talked is minus. EME today, good for moon bouncers. And I think your HF conditions are pretty good today. 10 meters going a little bit farther north in the northern hemisphere, which is great news. This is the maximum usable frequencies right now in the States. Basically, continental U.S., 28, Bitterroot range already of Montana at 10:45 in the morning Pacific. That's a great number. 27 in Southern California. Even Alaska right now is right on the 40-meter band, but 20 is coming within the hour. Heading towards the Great Lakes, 28 megahertz, 34 Washington, D.C., 31 great in the area around New England, 29 megahertz, panhandle of Florida, 30 in Brownsville, Texas, 30 megahertz throughout most of South America as well. Heading towards the northern hemisphere, you can see Europe right now, 11 megahertz in Spain, 9 around Germany, 11 in Italy, 11 as well in Greece, 12 around the city of Jerusalem this morning. Heading towards the southern hemisphere, great conditions, daytime conditions for the most part will be on the 10-meter band or higher, except for areas that are kind of attenuated down to the 12-meter band in this maximum usable frequency map for the southern hemisphere. Far east, Tokyo, 9 megahertz, but you'll get on 10 meters today. It's going to reach that far north at least. Look at the Australian maximum usable frequencies just before the sun's about to come up. 21 megahertz Darwin, 21 Townsville, 20 in Brisbane, 12 megahertz currently in Sydney. Tasmania is at 10 as the sun is starting to rise, and Perth on the 20-meter band, and they're at 14 megahertz. Also, I wanted to point out the islands of New Zealand, both the North and South Islands, will definitely get their 10-meter band today. Your ham and shortwave forecast for this weekend, some good conditions to work your radio. It looks a lot worse than it really is. SFIs to hardly rise, meaning a big jump this weekend. Noise floors S0 to S2 at times through Monday. Voice bands Northern Hemisphere 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. If you're south of about, and this is a little bit, yeah, I'd say 50. I think we're safe at 50, maybe a little higher. So you might be able to get at 48, 47 degrees north. Equatorial latitudes 20, 17, 15, 12 in the 10-meter band. Look for high MUFs in the mid-latitudes approaching 40 megahertz today. Northern hemisphere looks good. The mid-latitudes are fine. The southern hemisphere is golden. 12, they're going to get 20, 17, 15, 12 in the 10-meter band. About north of, well, I'd say about 60 degrees almost in the southern hemisphere. It's just brilliant in the south. Tonight on your amateur radio bands, noise floors S0 to S1 to S1, S2 at times through Monday. Nighttime amateur bands 160, 80, 60, 40, 30. Best DX, maximum usable frequency at sunset. Then go to your lower bands to get to 40 and 80 overnight. Hopefully not as loud tonight. Should be a quieter night to work your radio. Shortwave listeners, your daytime shortwave, increasing solar flux indexes mean better DX, more reliable, but there still will be some fade as there will be on the amateur bands for HF. S0 to S1 noise floors to S1, S2 at times through Monday. Shortwave daytime bands 31, 25, 22, 19, 15, and the 13-meter band. Nighttime shortwave noise floors S0 to S1 today, S0 to S2 at times through the weekend. Your shortwave band nighttime 120, 90, 75, and 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22, and the 19-meter band open about 2.5 hours in the southern hemisphere after sunset, and the signals will sound beautiful there on 19 meters. I have a big show coming up for you, the history of the golden age of radio here in the United States. That's radio dramas and comedies and variety shows and even the horror movies, the horror shows too. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see you hopefully as close to 20 UTC as I can. My name's Larry. God bless you. Thanks for watching Ham Radio Live's weather segment, and enjoy your radio today. Turn it on. You'll make some great calls. Goodbye, everybody.